Hey, welcome back to the channel. So, we have a new patch notes today, and we are going to see the new Esper skills here. So let us see the Fatum sisters, 5-star flow attune. The Fatum sisters are support Espers who are skilled in defense. Oh yeah, by the way, ignore the small text here. I'm going to read them to you because I'm using a PC to play this, so that's why the text adjusts itself to the screen of my PC instead of the text for mobile phone. So the Fatum sisters are support espers who are skilled in defense. Hard beam attacks an enemy and reduces their AP. That's a standard. Sparkling Stage heals all allies and grants them speed up, while also dispelling one debuff from an ally. After Ascension, it also grants invincibility to the ally. So the second skill is it's actually like an upgraded version of Celine. So this is great. Like instead of defense up, it gives it heals all allies. So where Celine gives defense up and speed up and dispel one debuff, this one heals and grants speed up while dispelling one debuff. So looking at the grammar here, like it says that it heals all allies, grants them speed up, so that it's AoE. But dispelling one debuff from an ally, I don't know if this is a typo or it's actually only dispel one debuff from one ally. So I hope that's it dispels one debuff from every single ally. Otherwise, dispelling one debuff from just one ally is too underwhelming for a legendary Esper. So after Ascension, it also grants invincibility to the ally. So this is, I don't know if this is like Suhua invincibility, like target one single Esper, or is it like Nicole invincibility, where it can give invincibility to every single allies. So if this gives invincibility to every single allies, like the legendary version of Nicole, that means my prediction was right. Like this Esper will have something to do with invincibility, because that's the only buffs that we haven't seen yet. So if you guys watch my previous video on my prediction about the Fatum sisters and Intisar, so I got this part right. Although it only gives probably to one ally, we still don't know yet if this meant for one ally or this is like AoE invincibility, but it does have something to do with invincibility. And also my prediction about Fatum sister playing around with buffs is kind of like half right, because he also plays around with debuffs here, because the third skill, Trio of Destiny, attacks all enemies multiple times, with each hit reducing their AP. If an enemy's speed is lower than the Fatum sisters, it further reduces the enemy's AP. It also grants defense up to all allies. So there is also some debuffs involved here, so not only buffs, so that part was missing by a little bit, but this is really great, because this means that Fatum sisters can actually be the legendary version of Eira, because currently if you want to have like AP controller in every single content, apparently Eira also good in PvP. So Eira is the best at AP control in our current games right now, compared to the other Espers. Eira has the best AP control, and this is going to be the legendary version of that, although without the Brisingament's watch, because that Brisingament's watch reduced the cooldown by one turn. Yeah, that what makes Eira really strong in controlling the enemy's AP, because she can have like only 2 turns cooldown for her third skill because of her second skill. So this one, we don't know yet how long the cooldown is, but if she needs like a higher speed than the enemy, that means that she can be like similar to how you play Abigail, because currently a lot of people are giving like a very fast relics for Abigail, because the moment she moves, she can actually call someone, and that person, like for example Gaius or Raven or maybe Narmer or any other DPS who doesn't have any speed, she can actually just straight away call them and they will move straight away. And also she can give them attack buff and absorb buff. So this can be also played similar to how you people play Abigail, which is giving her the highest speed relic. Probably not the highest, because she also needs some kind of survivability, I guess, and also definitely some accuracy. So she might be the second Esper to move after Dahlia if you guys are still using Dahlia. But it also doesn't hurt if you give Dahlia's relic to Fatum Sisters. So if she has higher speed than the enemy, then she can further reduce the enemy's AP. So this is like double AP reduction. The thing is, we don't know exactly how much percentage this AP reduction is, but what we do know is that it's a multi hits. So if you give the Fatum Sisters Zeus relics, she can also stun the enemies while reducing their AP. So that's really good. So with the first AP reduction, I think the lowest number that AP reduction can go is 5% per hit. We can see that from effect skill, which is AP absorption. So the lowest number is 5%. So if this gives like 5% AP reduction, that means 3 hits going to reduce the enemy's AP by 15%. And if it further reduces the enemy's AP, that means it might double the number to 30%. And that is the lowest possible number they can give to this AP reduction. So if it is any higher, so let's say if the number is 10%, so if each hit reduces their AP by 10%, that means that's already 30% AP reduction. So if they increase further, reduce the enemy's AP, if this second AP reduction is only like 5% per hit, that means it's going to be 45% AP reduction in total. By itself, it's already higher than every single AP reduction from the other espers that you can possibly give to the enemy. So aside from Sienna, of course, Sienna resets the enemy's AP. That one is unquestionable. So yeah, this is going to be really strong. So, and also it grants defense up to all allies, and we know for sure that this defense up lasts for 3 turns. So in practice, it might be possible to have permanent defense up to for her teammates, because she also needs high speed. So that means her allies will be moving slower than her. So their defense up buffs will last longer than Fatum Sisters herself. So this defense up is going to be permanent for her allies. So this is going to be really good. If you are like use Era a lot in a lot of content, like probably Infinity Tower or Temporal Tower, if you do use Era a lot, you can consider taking her. Although if you already satisfied with your Era, you can save your record or SSM and not pull her. It's also alright, because the thing that makes her OP is the fact that she probably, there's a probability that she will reduce even higher AP than Era, and also the fact that she can gives invincibility to allies, and also acts like a Celine in this case with her second skill. So that's already count as like at least 2 espers in one single esper slot. So it's just like Abigail. The reason why Abigail is really strong is because she can cover like 3 espers job by herself, by buffing every single allies with attack up, defense up, barrier absorb, and also AP increase. All those things is the job of like 3 different espers. and she can do it by herself, while you can use the other slots to bring any other Esper. So with Fatum sister, she can be a really strong controller by herself. So this is like a really good choice if you really want to have like a really good controller. Like if you're missing a lot of controller in your team composition, then Fatum Sisters is a really good choice. I can already guess from here. Although we still need to wait until the actual number shows up to determine whether this is really OP or this is just good enough, you know. So next, we're going to go to Daylon. Daylon is 4-star Inferno Attune. Daylon is a support Esper who excels at offensive attacks. So yeah, this is just like Ashley, where he is going to support his allies by attacking the enemy. So his Fire Slash attacks one enemy and inflicts bleed upon them. That's alright. Yeah, we don't see many Espers that can inflict bleed in their skill sets. So having a new Esper that can use bleed can really make your enchanter really useful now for him. So double slash inflicts stun and defense down on the target. This is his second skill. So it's a stun and defense down, which is alright, not really something that is game breaking, but it's alright to have, you know, stun and defense down. So the third skill is Hydro Inferno combo, inflicts disease on the target. After Ascension, this ability has a chance to dispel all enemies' buffs and debuffs. Oh my god, this is really good. Yeah, because ever since JJ came out, a lot of Espers that comes out after that have something to do with these spells. I think it's because Lilith used JJ a lot in PvE content. I remember something that my clubmate said, that the reason why JJ came out is that Lilith want to have like a very scary looking Esper to be used as a boss in PvE content. So yeah, that's exactly right. Like JJ is really strong, especially when he becomes a boss, because you cannot disable him. But the only way to kill him is to dispel his buff, you know, his standoff. So having a lot of options to dispel the enemy's buffs really gives you a lot of options to choose from whenever you have to deal with JJ in this case. And not only JJ, like nowadays, like you see a lot of Abigail, and also probably once Fatum Sisters comes out, like the invincibility, you need someone to dispel that. So having Daylon here can actually be a solution. So a lot of times when a new Esper's coming out, like most of the time it's the counter to that current Esper. So like if you remember in Gaius case, Gaius came out and he was it's not only then, but up until now Gaius is still OP. But the thing is, Ling Guang, who came out at the same time as Gaius, is the perfect counter for him actually, because Ling Guang moves really fast, and she uses her speed to become her damage. And because nobody ever built Gaius as a tanky character, so if Ling Guang moves first, which he definitely will, she can kill Gaius before he can even turn into God mode, which can give him a shield, a barrier. So the things that makes Gaius really hard to kill is actually his barrier. So the moment he manages to get into that God mode, that's it, it's game over. But Ling Guang is the counter, the perfect counter for Gaius, because she moves before Gaius, and she can one-shot Gaius. So here Daylon comes out, and you can use him to counter Fatum Sisters in this case. Although you can also use him to counter any other Espers who use a lot of buffs. So the thing is, I understand dispelling all enemies' buffs, but I don't get what they are looking for by removing all the enemies' debuffs. Like is there some interaction that that is going to happen in the future by removing the enemy's debuffs? I don't know. But I don't think removing the enemy's poison debuffs will actually trigger the poison, right? Like if you apply poison to the enemy and the enemy Clara cleanse the poison, then the poison is gone. So dispelling the enemy's debuffs probably acts the same way. It won't trigger anything. So I'm looking forward to what kind of interaction this will bring in the future. Like there probably something, some hidden purpose for removing the enemy's debuffs in the future. So keep that in mind. Maybe we will see some kind of like a sentinel boss or a new content that requires us to remove the enemy's debuffs. Who knows? Yeah. Or maybe the developer only gives this option because if this character can dispel all enemies buffs and that's it, it makes him too strong for 4-star Esper. Maybe he belongs to a legendary Esper. Who knows? So they add some disadvantage for Daylon. But yeah, we will see later. So that's the skills. And the rest of the new events, I took a little bit of sneak peek just now, and the thing is, the only thing that is important is probably just this one, the championship. Yeah, the championship grants Echo Ripples for the new Esper Daylon, and Sobek Ripples can be acquired from personal point rewards and group ranking rewards. So here it is. This is what we missed when we saw the video last time. So we saw the group ranking rewards, but we missed the text on the personal point rewards because it's unreadable. So if you see it like this, personal point rewards and group ranking rewards, that means there is a possibility that you can do this as a group, or maybe this is just like what's it called, the bracket, like the sentinel bracket. Yeah, so the group ranking is probably just like the sentinel bracket, and the personal point rewards is your own achievement for getting all the reward, basically. Players acquire this Esper from Echo with 40 ripples. So we don't know how many ripples we get per win, but after we collect 40 ripples, then we can summon Daylon. So yeah, this is something that you don't want to miss. Even if you hate PvP that much, like a lot of people, I see a lot of people says that they hate PvP because either they don't enjoy it or they don't have the required Esper to do PvP. But the thing is, you cannot avoid doing contents, like the same thing like Sentinels. Like I've up until now, I have classmates that hardly ever join the Sentinel hunt, even though their reward is really, really good, But thing is, they took it to a new level that there is an Esper that cannot be acquired if you don't join PvP. But let me know what you think about that. Like for me personally, I don't mind having an Esper that is locked behind certain content, because eventually it is inevitable. Like right now, even the SSM right now, after you miss the banner, like even though they said that you can have a chance to get the Esper in the golden records, but the chance of that happening is really, really small. The more Espers they add in the future, the less chance you can have to get the previous Esper. So right now, like if eventually when Intisar come out, and apparently she has something to do like a call with Ife, then all those people who failed to get Ife in the previous banner will have a really hard time to get Ife again to partner with Intisar in the future. That's still speculation. We will see later. We will see how good Intisar will be later. But yeah, my prediction still stands. Like I suspect Intisar will have a lot of things to do with debuffs, because Fatum sisters have a lot of buffs, but also because the text said there that Intisar is a fighter instead of a controller can also means that the debuff will not be as much as an actual controller. Otherwise, they will put the description there as controller instead of fighter. But then again, Ife is also considered fighter, even though she plays around with a lot of poison. So who knows? Yeah, maybe Intisar is also put as a fighter Esper because he also use a lot of poisons. In a sense, you can think of poison as also a damaging ability. So it's not actually a controlling ability. So that also makes sense. Yeah. So we don't know what's the future gonna be, but for now we already get some kind of idea about the Fatum sisters. So now it's up to you to decide whether you need a legendary controller or not, or you are happy with your current Esper and you want to save up for the next Esper. Yeah. So that's it for today. Wait, I do want to see the text here. Let me skip a little bit. Okay, some things about energy defense, or HLS glow sticks and neon side, blah blah blah, different defense. So let's get an here from virtual. Yeah, this is the standard story event. Probability of summoning increased, championship, solstice decorations. Yeah, this is the decoration. So apparently, you can get decoration. You can decorate your screen and your Union Esper tower, and also you can decorate this boom. We don't know whether this boom is going to be playable in the future, but for now it's only just going to be a decoration. I do hope this boom will be playable in the future, but who knows, like it's probably just a developer only Esper. I do hope that's a thing. Like, you know, I kind of miss that kind of games, you know, where the GM actually have a special character for them to play around with. So decorations, blah blah, Sentinel boss difficulty adjustment. Oh yeah, this is another important thing. So the Sentinel Hunt boss difficulty adjustment. So after this update, players who have reached squad level 60 will experience a minor increase in the difficulty of Sentinel Hunt. So I don't know if this is purposefully or not, because they only aim this to those people who are not yet level 60, and they said that it's going to be a minor increase in the difficulty. So does that mean that for players who are level 60 already won't feel the increase in difficulty? Like, that's probably not possible, right? Like, if they change the difficulty, then every single player will feel the difference, although the difference will be much more noticeable for players who are not yet reached the end game compared to those who already have the required relics to kill the Sentinel. So we will see later like how hard it's going to be. But for me personally, like the Sentinel Hunt, if they make it harder, like I will enjoy it further, because Sentinel Hunt is something that I enjoy a lot, you know, like trying out new combination Espers. Like every single time I do Sentinel Hunt, I never bring the same Esper. You know, I always try out new things in every time, every 2 days apparently. Yeah. So point more tier 16 to point tier 18 optimization. Yeah, blah blah blah. Results now by HMS make. So yeah, they just tune up the tier 16 up to tier 18. So, yeah, oh yeah, and in the Echo result screen, players can tap an Esper's essential ability to preview the ability description. So this is huge, because up until now, if you haven't owned the Esper yet, you won't know what kind of ascension that they have. The ascension is this one. The ascension stats, because this changes a lot of things. You know, when Odette first came out, like Odette have the highest base speed among every single other Espers, 107. I think the only other Esper who have this kind of speed is probably Tricky. So she has the highest speed among every other Esper, but because her ascension growth doesn't give her speed at the last one, it only gives her speed plus 5, so it makes her slower than let's say Dahlia, in a sense, you know, because Dahlia gets speed plus 10 in her ascension. So this 102 can be increased to 112, and this 107 is actually only 112 too. So they are the same, even though she has like a far higher base speed than Dahlia. So that's it. So now if we can see the ascension ability for espers that we don't own yet, and especially in the SSM, so we will know whether this Fatum sister is going to be OP or not based on the ascension. If the ascension gives like HP plus 20%, then obviously it's going to be really strong for Fatum sisters. So yeah. So let me know in the comment if you find something else to discuss about. I do like discussion. So I'll see you the next time the actual skills numbers come out. So until then, goodbye, bye bye.